Alright guys, so we're practicing the twist and swipe technique again. I will say that I made this paint. This white was a white that I already added a tiny bit of water to. When I say a tiny bit of water, if it was 20 ounces, I maybe added an ounce of water to it. And then whenever I poured water in here, it was at about 10 ounces, and I added probably an ounce of water, 2 ounces of water on accident. So I had made this very thin, but I didn't want to waste it, so I wanted to try it out. And as you saw in the last video, if you watched the last video, it actually is creating cell action mimicking a pearl pour, but with none of the added ingredients. So I'm wondering if you water your base down a lot without adding all of those other ingredients, if you can still get pearls. So I will be experimenting with that in the next few weeks and see how that turns out. But as of right now, we're experimenting with this, and we're not trying to get pearls. We're trying to see what kind of cell action we'll get by just twisting and mixing the paints, the different brands of paints. I did water them down slightly. I cannot tell you how much water I put in the colors because they were all different amounts of paint, so they required different amounts of water. So let's get started. Oh, and this is the table scrapings from the last painting I just did, which was yesterday's video. But I'm gonna try putting this with the base coat. So I'm gonna do like a line of the white, and then I'm gonna do a line of that. And then we're gonna just see, do you see how much more watered down the white is compared to that? Okay, there's a clump right there somewhere. Let's just drag that off. Okay, and I'm gonna just kind of, I'm wanting more of that purple color on the bottom. Not that you're gonna even be able to see the bottom color. The bottom color is just to help the top colors flow a little bit better. That's what I'm thinking anyways. If you haven't seen my other two videos on this technique, go check them out. If you guys can see, I'm wanting to show you exactly. I don't have another stir stick, but I'm wanting to show you exactly how thin that paint is. I mean, it's almost thinner than what you would need for a pearl pour. I don't know if you can see that, but it just flows right off. So now we're gonna layer our colors, and we're gonna start. Last time I just used the stir stick and made squiggly lines. This time I'm gonna just go in and just kind of do like this. Just kind of make lines places. Okay. I'm almost lining this up like a pearl pour too. That's already so much paint for that size canvas. This is just a 10 by 20. So this will be the last, or I guess I'm gonna add a little bit of gold on top. But this is all experimental right now. So I'm really not sure how much to use. We're gonna just start by doing just see if I can't. Look at all those cells already popping up. Look at that. It's like a combination of pearl cells right there, combination of a swipe right there, and that even looks like silicone. Couldn't even think of the word. I'm so excited. Uh-oh. I gotta start right here because I dripped it. We're gonna just go down. I do want white in there. Okay. And I like that you can just go back over it again. Just like that. I missed this entire side here. Oh, I'm gonna stretch it out. Duh. Okay. New techniques are kind of confusing because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Didn't get that area right there. And I really want to make sure that I keep a lot of that Paynes Grey. Let's just go in right here. Okay. Okay, so one thing, I mean, I'm loving the cell action. One thing I'm noticing about the flow of the painting is that I'm needing to learn how to use this correctly to make the flow of the colors go together, right? But okay, let's give it a torch and try to stretch it out a little bit. I just cannot believe the cells in there. It's amazing. So, twist and swipe technique. Using Creative Inspiration, Soho, and Lucas brands paints. Watering them down some. I'm not sure if this is a factor into it yet or not, but making sure that the base coat is really, really thin and just lightly gliding the different brands of paint into each other. Okay? All right, let's stretch it out just a little bit. I'm gonna go with that corner first because I don't want to lose too much of that Paynes Grey. I want it to stretch back out. Okay. I mean, look at that. Okay, so the metallic obviously plays a big part in it. And for some reason, the Paynes Grey. See, and so the metallic, look, the gold metallic is Creative Inspirations. And look at all the cells from it. Even this green part is going to be cell action from the gold because the gold's pulling the green up. This is Soho brand copper, and there's tiny little cells in there, but there's barely any. I really think that it's the Creative Inspiration paint, because I mean, this is Creative Inspiration Paynes Grey, and there's cells. This is the Lucas brand mauve. Just kind of fell into the background of most things, so that doesn't produce too many cells. All right, I'm just analyzing everything. I'm gonna finish stretching it out now. We're gonna go ahead and go to, we're gonna actually turn it around. And go down to that corner first. I don't want to lose that Paynes Grey right there though. All right, bring it back. I really feel like I'm gonna lose all these gold. I wonder if I could just put, I wonder if you could just fix it by adding that right there. Okay. Since I'm not wanting to lose those cells. And then take it down. Oh my gosh. And stretch it back, and that's good enough for me. And then we'll bring that back up. All right. Then we'll get this last corner. This last corner over here. Okay, bring it back. I've got to say, it reminds me of a swipe, a very watered down swipe. All right, so before I bring you in for a close-up, I'm going to talk about a couple things I've learned, okay? The metallic creates the cells. The watered down paints create the cells. I'm thinking that having an even thinner base coat under your watered down paints create cells. And I think that learning to use the scraper in a more flowing way would really help colors to blend better. It even made like almost a black color here. I mean, that's not Paynes Grey. That's not anywhere near Paynes Grey. That's black. And I used no black. Alright, I'm bringing you in for a close-up. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so blown away with this technique. I mean, just look at that. No cell activator. Only watered down paint. Really watered down base coat. And slightly watered down colors. And making sure to add metallics and obviously Paynes Grey, because look at the Paynes Grey right there. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this messy masterpiece. Alright guys, I'll show you the dried results and I will have more on this technique coming soon. You guys, I'm blown away by this technique and I'm loving it. I will be practicing with it more and more, trying to figure out how to make the colors flow together in a specific way versus just whatever the painting wants to create. But I'm going to take you in for a close-up, and this is the best one yet. Look at all those cells. And if you watched Molly's Artistry's last video with Olga Sabi in it, she did an open cup and she used Paynes Grey as well, and I believe it was Creative Inspirations. And if you see from the open cup that she used, it also created all of those little cells out of the Paynes Grey. But this area right here, that's the darkest I've ever seen Paynes Grey turn. It's almost black, and I've never really seen that with Creative Inspirations Paynes Grey. But look at all those cells. I'm trying to stay in the light. Those really stretched out a lot. And I really like how the colors flow between there. Anyways, I'm blown away by this technique. Let me know what you think. I'm loving it. Wait, that's McDonald's saying, I love it. There we go.